Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Well, yesterday we heard about the budget, 27 budget approval that we're waiting on, and from the National Assembly, in particular the Senate, they have alerted that the police might just be stalling the passing of the budget. And that's because they raided the house of the chair last Thursday, Senate Appropriation Committee, and according to what the good senator has said on the floor of the House, they carted away his laptop that contained 18 documents directly related to his assignment as chair of the Appropriation Committee. And in fact, he has not been able to meet, the committee has not been able to meet since then. And so they're saying that if the budget is late, it's not us, it's the police. Meanwhile, the Senate has directed the police to not just explain itself, but to return the documents forthwith. But let's give you the report as we put it out yesterday on our news.
Just when Nigerians thought the 2017 budget would be free of scandals, unlike that of last year, the Senate held a plenary that a police raid on the Appropriation Committee chairman's residence means the budget process has been disrupted. This is due to confiscation of some parts of the finished appropriation bill.
We planned to bring this budget yesterday, to get it passed today, to send it to Mr. President by tomorrow or next tomorrow for his accent. Yes. But the process was truncated by the invasion of my house, whereby 18 files, a laptop, were carted away to nowhere, I don't know, whether to the police headquarters, I don't know, it's still with the police.
The police are saying that it is something to do with whistleblower. If it is to do with whistleblower, then, and that the whistleblower misled them. If somebody has given you wrong information, tell the public what you are doing with that person. If somebody did not give, and if it's an intelligence officer that got the house wrong, come out and tell us. But 5 days, nothing. I think, unfortunately, it's because of the respect of today, or that it should have come as a motion. These files that are still in police custody, that which Senator Goje has told us is affecting the work before us, also needs to be brought publicly and formally to him, because it was taken publicly in the open glare.
On hearing about the ripples being generated by the seizure of the documents, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, rushed to the National Assembly complex in an attempt to douse tension. But it seems that the federal lawmakers are set for a showdown.
Is it true that the budget documents were taken by him?
No, well, ask him. I don't know what he took.
But Goje told us that at the
we have not talked on the documents he have taken.
Okay, so what was it all about?
General issues.
After meeting with the Deputy Senate President and Senate Majority Leader, the Inspector General of Police did not wait to attend to questions from journalists. All eyes are now on him to return the documents seized by the police after raiding the house of the Appropriation Committee Chairman, Senator Danjuma Goje. Somna Sambu, TVC News, Abuja.
Okay, so there you have the story. All the details are, quite frankly, known by now. And my guest this morning is Alistair Wilcox. He's a public affairs analyst, and just by the way, he's a chartered accountant. But thank you very much for coming on, Alistair.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for having me. It's been a while.
It has been quite a while. Serious business going on here. As we just heard in that story, most importantly, the laptop containing something like 18 documents directly related to the assignment of the Committee on Appropriation. It must be the master copy. No other copy of it can possibly exist. So that is why, because I'm trying to figure out in a digital age how copies of documents, because that is what they are by definition, they really are copies. What do you make of all of this? Our reporter said that it looks as if the National Assembly is intent on a showdown, to use his words.
Yori, thank you very much. Permit me to say that the correspondent didn't maybe for want of word, he uses that word, but I don't know what showdown they wanted to do with respect to the invasion of a private person's house. albeit by the police, because there was another forum. I listened carefully to I was so fortunate as I was coming. I was listening to another radio station when the first PRO was explaining what transpired and what documents they have. As a matter of fact, he listed all the documents that they have in respect of that invasion. And let's also put it clear that that invasion, it was an invasion, there was a search warrant duly executed by a high court in FCT.
So when I hear these words invasion, I sometimes wonder, invasion is one thing, but when you go, as you're pointing out, with a search warrant, it's, but these words come into sort of fashion, and we sort of use them for a while.
Yes, I think I blame the press quite a lot, because right now in the country, maybe not unintentionally, there is this unwritten problem with the presidency and this administration. So anything the administration does, it's been captioned in a different way to create panic or tension in the land.
Well,
and I think I blame the press really for it, because
maybe inadvertent, because these words do come and go from the press. You know,
but
offering.
You know, because like the police PRO explained, a search warrant was obtained, and the purpose of the search warrant was stolen fund, which they went in. 3 persons, according to the police, were in the house. Danjuma Goje was called, and he said, and I quote what the police PPRO said, was that he's in the president working on the budget. As at the time he was called, that he's in National Assembly working on the 2017 budget. So they went in, searched the house, took all the files. They took about 38 files. They took the laptop. They got about 18 million naira cash, some amount of foreign currencies,
dollars,
and all whatnot, which they indented in the search warrant, signed by the 3 persons they met in the house, 2 guys and 1 lady. So and then Danjuma Goje was called, according to the police public relations officer, has been called to come since last Friday. He didn't come.
Okay.
That he has been called again to report to come because there are some incriminating documents that has to do with murder, has to do with insecurity, and so many other things, which were the files they took because they listed it.
Okay.
And no, they have called him to come and explain to them the content of those materials. And he has not. He didn't go on Friday. He has not come up till now. I mean, they are saying what they are surprised to hear that he was saying about that not like budget was taken away.
So there are 2 things here. You've spoken quite extensively a bit on the whole matter of the police going there to search his house. You know, that's on the one hand. But the other one is that the budget might be stalled. They have alerted because of the police operation that, unfortunately, from the point of view of the National Assembly and the Senate, because both houses have now set up committees to investigate the matter, they have taken away indispensable documents to the successful completion of the assignment.
When I saw Danjuma Goje speaking, just on the report that was just sent, and even the Senate president, I begin to wonder if we are going to make progress in this country. His body language and everything depict childishness.
Oh no! Well, Alistair, please. We're talking about the National Assembly.
No,
we're talking about the Senate President
and Senator Bukola Saraki. They are individuals. They are not the Senate.
These are respected senators.
Yeah, they are. They are. But we have to place the fact clearly as they are.
Because you have to choose your language carefully.
Okay. I withdraw that childish, but it marks some kind of personality that I do not think, in all good conscience, if it's in other clime, can be a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because look at his body language. They to nowhere. Meanwhile, you have been invited to come to police headquarters to explain those papers. And again, secondly, Yori, he is the chair of the appropriation committee. It's a committee made up of I don't know how many numbers. Certainly not one. There must be a chairman, a vice chairman, at least 1, 2, a secretary of the committee,
and then some members
for who do domicile every the secretary has has custody of every transaction of that committee. So that's why I said the attitude. That's why I said what the Senate is doing, even what Bukola Saraki was saying, the Senate President was saying. When I look at his face, he does not exude confidence, does not exude patriotism.
Believability.
Because you cannot say that because the house of the chairman was searched with a court with a duly executive court warrant.
Yes.
Whatever the person to call it, and they are not saying because of that
the budget, national budget will be stalled. Okay, we're going to go on a break now. I'm going to come back to you. You continue with this, and we'll be joined by another guest. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. The long-expected budget, according to the Senate, because the police raided the house of the Senate Appropriation Chair, Senator Goje. As you saw in our report at the top of the program, the Inspector General of Police has nipped over there, explained whatever is explainable, but they haven't shared that with us. We've since been joined by Honorable Ipola Omishure, former member of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thanks a lot.
Indeed. Now, let me get your perspective as well, because you've been in there before, and the copy of the documents on the Senate, on the Appropriation Committee Chair's laptop, let's even agree without conceding, we don't know anything, is with the police. And we are told that because of that, there might be stalling of the budget. What do you think?
Well, what is going on in Nigeria is sheer legislative rascality. You see, they are rascals. You can call them distinguished.
Well, Honorable, I don't like... you're calling them rascals. I didn't allow him to call them childish. You've now put rascals. Okay, we're talking about the distinguished Senate.
I'm not talking about their person.
Okay.
I'm talking of... You see, we legislators are gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
We should behave, and the word honorable or distinguished is not automatic. By your behavior, it's accorded you. But if you go and steal or do anything right, can you be distinguished? If you talk anyhow, can you be distinguished? It's like a tenant who has not paid his landlord, and the landlord probably forced the door open, and he said, you have stolen my 10 million. That's what is going on in that place. I was a member of the budget committee of the House, and every one of us will have a copy of every detail. Even when after the viewing, we have all the copies. So to say that it's with the police, you cannot do this, I think it's rascality.
Because not only did the Senate say it, and it was Senator Goje of the Senate who laid the complaint, the House of Reps has now set up a similar committee to investigate this whole matter about police stalling the passage of the 2017 budget.
You see, what I'm telling you is that the legislators, senators, and all of them are inviting the wrath of Nigerians. Don't forget, in those days, in the 16th century, it was monarchy. The monarchy were ruling, they were hanging people. Today, they have been reduced to ceremonial leadership. So what they are doing today is they are calling attention of Nigerians to say, why do we have these people there? In Great Britain, it was House of Commons. Commoners sitting down to govern. But if the oppressors are going to sit down to govern us, Nigerians are very docile. But when they get annoyed, they are irresistible.
So what I'm trying to say, it looks like you're saying that the Senate is playing games with us.
They are playing games with us. Go to Senegal. Today, they have a mono legislator. What happened?
It was
because the senators there were misbehaving, and they had a referendum. And all Senegalese voted against Senate.
Yeah.
Today, there's sanity.
Indeed.
There's less use of public fund. So what they are doing there, including the Senate president, who was an umpire. I was surprised when he was speaking and supporting Senator Goje.
Okay, let me bring in Frank to this conversation. He's calling in from Ikorodu. Good morning, Mr. Frank.
Yomi, Abi.
Good morning. Go ahead, please, with your comment.
Yes. You see, when some of these people come on television, they should not just disregard their members in the Senate. You have to give your point, but not insulting the people who were elected. He was once in the House. So if he insults other people, that means he was also a rascal. Because you have to give us evidence of what you are saying. Tell us exactly what we want to hear, not insulting those people. Please tell your guests not to do that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for calling in. Appreciate your call. Now, the issue here is this beggars belief a bit, Wilcox, that the National Assembly budget, work on the National Assembly, on the 2017 budget, national budget, can be stalled because of that incident. It beggars belief. Nobody is going to buy into that. I'm sorry.
I share the sentiment of the last caller, but I don't think anybody here insulted anybody. We must let it bear as it is. Because for me, there is no way I will wake up and start playing. Even the Agberos, they have some, those in the motor parks, they have some decorum.
Oh dear.
That even when they do things, they can be very rascal, they can be very, but there is some level of things that you can tell somebody that the person will believe you. And that is why I'm shocked that the Senate should even countenance what Senator Goje said. Countenancing it. Not even talking of now. Now, because it's just about by, I think at that point, the Senate should have even set up a panel, the kind of panel they set up for the man from Borno South. What's his name? No, the man from Borno South. The one that is suspended now. Senate, the former Senate leader that was suspended. That kind of panel that Goje should have gone to face. Because you cannot come and tell the whole nation that you are running a committee with a secretary that is not a solo committee, and that part of the problem, part of the issues, the reasons why the Senate had issue with Magu was that he took official document home. That was one of the accusations against Magu. So what is official document of the whole nation doing in your house?
Okay,
where you have an elaborate office,
exactly,
an elaborate secretariat, an elaborate committee that has all this. So that is the issue. Nigerians are not fools. No, we're not fools.
I hear you. But
even a 6-year-old will know that
but people take
you are
walk
telling
home.
a lie in this matter.
You're right. But people take walk home, you know, without prejudice. People take walk home, but without prejudice to the conversation at the moment. Mr. Sadiq Jigawa, good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning.
Thank you very much for calling.
Good morning to the gentleman in the studio.
Good morning,
okay, the man in suit has just said what I want to say. I think it's not funny enough for a whole chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriation will come out and tell the Senate that the budget appropriation, that the budget is missing in his home. First and foremost, what is the budget doing in his house? Budget is meant to be in the office. Then what is it doing in the house? That is the same thing they are castigating Magu, that he took some official document that's meant to be kept in the office. He took it to his personal residence. For what? And he's not the only person in the committee. We have secretaries and members in the committee. Will he tell me that he's the only one in possession of that budget? These senators, they are making a ridicule of themselves, I'm telling you. And the good thing is Nigerians are beginning to realize that there are problems. They are holding us to ransom. And if they continue that way, 2019 is by the corner. So I think he should just, even what Saraki is trying to support him, that they are just annoyed with the whistleblowing policy because they are blowing them out. So that's why they're trying to bring out something funny that's not even acceptable to us. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Omishore.
I'm very sorry for calling rascality. It's not only a person. In the assembly or Senate or anywhere, we display. We're actors. Don't just believe that before they sat, Saraki will have said, you say this, I will say this. So that's what is happening. But Nigerians are no kids. The Senate committee can, even the Senate itself can sit without Saraki, not to talk of committee. So what we are saying in essence is that Nigerians are quiet now. Very, very soon, a simple referendum will eliminate all these people. What does a two-time governor?
Yeah.
A two-time governor. What does he want in the Senate? A three-time governor. What does he want in the Senate?
This is even a second
they go there.
The
yes.
They go there to slip off. They go there to go and protect their ill-gotten gains. They go there to go and show that they work for the money. So Nigerians, people like me, I watch my words, but provocation is setting in. And the only thing a civilized person can do is to speak grammar. A garage boy will not speak grammar.
Well,
and they better not provoke.
And that is an important point because just listening to those distinguished people speaking on television in the hallowed chamber of the Senate, you begin to wonder whether people actually think of consequences, repercussion of their words, their actions, because people have spoken about body language. So there's a matter of perception. There's a matter of perception, and I don't know whether the National Assembly has professional experts who are helping it gauge the perception it has in the public space. Because things are going bad.
The problem is the fact that the entire moral architecture of the country has broken down.
Oh dear. Yeah.
The entire structures of governance is no longer existing. It's now a rule of the thumb.
Almost
a rule of the thumb right now. So you discover that that's why you can have all kinds of things happening. Yori, I was quite a small boy in 1979, during the Senate of 1979-83.
I'm sorry, I got to go to a break,
yes.
But I'll be right back and you'll continue. Stay with us, please. Welcome back, and so we seem set for yet another saga because police stole 2017 budget, says the National Assembly. That's one headline out there in the newspapers. Mr. George, I understand you're on the line. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
Uncle Yori, sorry if I'm calling your station too much. It's because there are too many problems in Nigeria.
We wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you very much.
You see, Uncle Yori, one of the reasons that the Senate gave for rejecting Mango was that he took official documents to his house. So now that a senator has taken the budget of Nigeria to his house, what will happen to that senator? I don't know whether the Senate president can remember the issue. He's speaking as if he wasn't the one that said Mango cannot be confirmed because documents were taken to his house. Look, what is happening is that this Senate is doing everything possible to frustrate the president from performing. Even people who don't have eyes, they can see it. If I were the executive, I will withhold the release of any budget to the National Assembly from now until they pass the 2017 budget. Why are they taking us for a ride? Do they think we are fools? The budget committee is a committee. I think there are 16 members of that committee. I've been to the National Assembly and interacted with that committee before. The documents they have cannot be with only the chairman. It is circulated. Now they are just trying to use it as a bait or as a weapon to destroy what is meant for the people of this country. We should not allow it.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Mr. George. Appreciate your calling in. It does seem as if I'm trying to be as fair as possible, but as an ordinary right-thinking member of the public, hopefully, it looks like the National Assembly is trying to pick a fight. Because of all of these things that have been said, if it was not that they were just looking to pick a fight, things like, and tell the police to return that budget, the police must be told to return that budget so that work can... What budget?
I think just like I was saying before.
So as Mr. George said, it looks like this is really aimed at the administration, not wishing the administration well and wanting to do everything to stall its progress.
But in so doing, they're exposing their own weaknesses, their own incompetencies, and their own lack of patriotism for this country. Because who are you to, who are you trying to hold the president? You can't hold the president. You're only hurting the entire nation. You're only hurting the man on the street. You're only hurting members of the armed forces that depend on the budget. You're only hurting issues that are supposed to further our lives. That's what you're hurting.
So this is what is not being seen by the respected National Assembly.
That's what they are hurting. And then
it's an institution.
I just talked about the moral. Look,
you talked about the moral that is slipped into almost darkness.
It's almost in pitch darkness because right now, if not, how can a senator Someone who has ruled a state, governed a state for 8 years, a two-time senator right now in the National Assembly, a right-ranking senator, come to the floor of a hollow chamber and make that kind of, and it's still childish, anyhow you want to look at it.
Okay, let me bring in Reverend Dominic, who wants to join this conversation.
Please.
Good morning from, Alimosho?
Good morning, Yori. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Yori. We are treating symptoms here all the time, and I'm getting sick about it. Most of us that vote APC in, we have become an object of caricature today. What do I mean? As long as...
Reverend? Oh, I think we lost him. But he was going there, maybe Honorable Moshere, he was going to, sounding almost regretful, having voted for APC. Can you understand that sentiment? Because people think even this administration is going a bit too soft. I understand about the doctrine of separation of powers.
Even we ourselves who are stakeholders are full of regrets. You see, if you have this kind of Senate leadership and you want to move, democracy is stimulated by the Assembly or the Senate. They are the catalyst to development and progress. But when the catalyst is standstill,
unyielding,
then there's no movement. It has been no motion ever since they got there. But it's not their fault.
Is there a way around this, or are we all just held hostage forever? Because a lot of people are as Alistair said, it's not any personality, it's the nation that you're holding hostage.
Already we are held to hostage because we have, chained ourselves. When you say you can work with anybody, and anybody is now taking seat at the Senate and leading the Senate, and making laws for you, it's a lesson to be learned. When you say you belong to nobody, you belong to everybody. Everybody is now holding your government at the jugular. So, but we are paying the price. That's why I'm sorry for the old man.
But we can get our country back. Because it almost seems as if it's in hostage to the national.
The way it is now is that only the Assembly can set the nation free. It is not the Assembly that is now holding back the nation. So until the people take back their government, we are too docile.
Okay. Mr. Bubakar in Abuja, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori. How are you?
Thank you very much for calling in.
Well, what I am just trying to add here or contribute is all about the way the National Assembly is going is that now Nigeria is playing a kind of play of one book those days when we read a book called 1 Week, 1 Trouble.
1 week, 1 trouble.
1 week, 1 trouble. It is what is happening. The Senate is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Being the fact that we have a very good president who has integrity, that the system, they have never believed that this system, the Senate, the way the Senate is doing before, right from 1999 to date, at least these days there's a lot of change, there's a lot of correction, because knowing the fact that even this budget sometimes they used to have compromise. Ghana must go sharing and others.
And this one will not
now that all these things are going to stop, it's not easy for them even to be thinking the way these former senators, because I'm sure this is the only Senate that have not gotten a lot of kickback. But I'm sure Nigeria is growing, and Nigeria is getting to a level where even if they give you money, you say return it back. But I'm sure with time, Nigerians who voted them should at least be calling for a lot of interactive section within their constituency.
Indeed. Because thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Bubakar, because the National Assembly has become, quite frankly, a law unto itself.
Yes.
I mean, because when it says things like the police must return that document that they took in Senator Goje's laptop, everybody knows that there's an incongruity there, that's not the reason. So it does appear that they have other reasons. I think what they're doing, my guess, is that they're really protesting against the police executing a warrant on Senator Goje and would want to be, you know, as untouchable as they legally can be.
That is why I said, in the course of them trying to hold the nations to captive, they're exposing themselves to ridicule. They're exposing themselves to the fact that they are not people that Nigerians can trust. What they're trying to now, nobody's talking about 18 million naira found in Goje's house.
Yes, 18 million naira. There's that. You know,
you create
$19,000, 4,000 riyal.
That could be at the back pocket. $19,000. Well, it could be at the back pocket. But I'm talking of 18 million naira in this era of where you cannot withdraw more than. I mean, this cash limit is now working. You can't withdraw more than 500,000 or 3 million. So you have 18 million stocked in you. Now, I think that is what, and I'm still insisting that for a Goje to come to the National Assembly floor to say the police took this thing from him, and when he was not there, and according to the police, when he was called to come to the house,
said he was working.
He said he was working on the national budget. And the same way he was working out in the National Assembly, it's somebody that they took away from his house. Really? How can a man be telling a lie openly to himself?
Mr. Ishaq in Jos. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning to the gentleman in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Misha Akawai, I'm calling from Jos. The Senate, first, I want to ask what is the document doing in Senator Goje's house? That is first. And I think no document is missing. What their intention is just to blame Magu, because they refused to confirm Magu. They want to blame Magu for the delay in the passing of the 2017 budget. I think that is their intention. And this is the time Nigeria needs to wake up. First, the bicameral legislation will operate. Maybe there should be a referendum. Maybe we should go back to part-time legislature. Our legislators are failing us. They are turning our country into banana republic. We become more like a laughing stock in the Committee of Nations. So it is better to have a vibrant legislation than having a good president. Because if you have a good president without support of parliament, then we will still not move forward. But if you have a weak president and you have a vibrant legislation, the country will move forward. Yes. That is my take. Have a nice day, Mr. Yori.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ishaq, for calling in.
That's beautiful.
Indeed. The National Assembly is carrying on the way it's carrying on. It does smack a bit of taking your own electorate for granted. Because there's no way any right-thinking member of the society will accept what's going on here, that we can't proceed on the budget. As Senator Goje was saying on the floor of the House, I understand, we've not been able to sit since last Thursday when the police came and executed that warrant. It's only now that today that we're trying to see how we can now get together to continue work and meet. And the police, the Inspector General of Police, is playing along. He's humoring them. Yes. Before they go into technicalities and all of that, he's nipped over there and spoken to them. This is in danger of becoming a farce. The last caller spoke about, don't make us into a banana republic. We have distinguished people, educated people. What's going on? So what can we do about this?
You see, I think we lost everything down the line. Years back, we used to have a very vibrant and strong labor union. They were like the opposition party. Years back, we used to have...
Right now, the National Assembly is behaving like the opposition.
Like
to the administration.
Right back, we used to have student union. Yes. By now, they will be talking all over Nigeria. There will be massive protests.
What happened to quiet us?
All the NGOs are there.
What happened? Why are these people not talking?
Decline in morality.
Oh, everybody has been settled.
Everybody
has been settled.
Go to the House of Governors, you will see student union president sitting down.
Sitting with the governor because he must deliver some constituency.
Go and see the labor union, they are polarized. And
well, with the kind of money that was found in an Ikoyi flat, we never had any inkling that those kind of monies were even obtainable in someone's house.
Even you media, the press, they lost it all.
Oh dear.
No investigative journalism again.
Oh dear.
Nobody write anything again.
Brand envelope journalism.
I mean, we are now reading about judges who took bribe. In those days, they would have written about, they would have dug the hole, would have seen things coming out. So
you're saying society has become complicit?
I said it already. So the moral architecture is gone, and we are slipping to utter darkness. If we don't do anything about it now,
that docility must go. Otherwise, you will see area boss from Oshodi. They will take over government.
Well, by the time it gets to that, and God forbid, it means a revolution is imminent. But hopefully we can draw back from this precipice.
You know that those rich people live in the neighborhood of the poor people. Go to Amosu at Badagry, that Air Force General. All the houses near his house, where he put money in the sock away, they are poor people with thatched leaves.
We'll take a break now. Don't go anywhere, please. We'll be right back for the home stretch. Welcome back. Stanley, Mr. Stanley is on the line and he's in Gabon. Good morning, Stanley. Stanley, do you realize we're on air yet? We're waiting for you.
Good morning.
Stanley Gabon.
Yes, I'm impressed with your program. I always watch your program.
Thank you very much. Go ahead with your comment, please.
Yes, it has taken long since I started to call, but I'm grateful today that I'm connected. Okay, what I want to comment about your program is you are doing a good job, but we Nigerians, the Nigerians over there, they are making people to suffer. And as you have got to say, maybe what they are waiting for is revolution. I hope the problem is in Nigeria now, and the solution to Nigeria's problem is revolution. Because all the big people there that are governing Nigeria, they are making our people to suffer. See how our people are scattered all over the world. We are being victimized, we are being criticized, we are being killed. But our people there, instead of arranging our country Nigeria, they are pushing us into paper and making our people to suffer more and more. Upon all what we are saying there on the program, they are hearing it just like what happened on the show. So it seems that what they are waiting there is revolution. To make them understand that people on the barracks are hearing and seeing what is happening in Nigeria, because the day they will come out, good, I will support them, there will be fire and pepper in Nigeria. Let our senators, let all those governing Nigeria be careful on how they are treating our Nigerians. They are not happy with our people who are reading us there. So one day, let them be careful. They are watching them and the world is watching. You people over the place, you are trying your best to watch. After all that are done, it's just like the water pot on the stove. So one day, they should be careful. Let them understand that people, Nigerians, all over the world are seeing what is happening. And you are not too happy with them. Because the day is to strike, all of them, they will be in paper. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Stanley, in Gabon. And, well, police stole 2017 budget, according to the National Assembly. People are still, you know, RTFL, rolling on the floor laughing or something like that. Now, the National Assembly and the executive don't have to see eye to eye, but they're expected to be partners in progress.
Exactly.
That much nobody can dispute. Yes. The way this is going, it's clear that there's a certain kind of animosity. I don't know any other word. That's the way I feel. If I'm wrong, let me know about it. There's still kind of an animosity to the success drive of the administration. Everything this administration said it was going to do once it came in place, the National Assembly has found a way to stymie, to block, and ultimately what they want is to become untouchable. So this whole matter of protesting that, you see now, because of what the police has done, all this anti-corruption wahala, you see now we won't have the budget in time because of police. That's what they're trying to say. Nigerians can't buy that.
You are spot on, Yori. You are very spot on that. The truth of the matter is, and like somebody, the guy that called from Ikeja said, this is the only national, this is well, in recent time, National Assembly that does not have Ghana must go settlement. So it's painful that things are changing. And of course, majority of them are corrupt ex-governors. Majority of them have their hands soiled. Majority of them are victims of this anti-corruption war. So they see themselves in a vantage position to flex muscle.
But we don't know any of that since no court of law said
but most of them, their cases are in court.
They're in court. They haven't finished pronouncing.
No, but they're in court. Understand. Okay, most of them are alleged.
Alleged, thank you for putting the alleged inside.
Even their chairman is in the court every day.
Allegation, Shinio. Allegation, Shinio.
Alleged.
Good morning, Mr. James in Ogudu.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for calling in.
It's a pity that we all belong to this kind of country called Nigeria because we have thieves as senators. I am not afraid, and I don't owe any of them any respect. They have failed us. We are talking about xenophobia attack in South Africa. Is it not because we don't have good economy? That's why our youth are there and they are killed on a daily basis. We are talking about collapsed economy. I saw the Senate president this morning talking as if he was sleeping, meaning that he doesn't even have a grasp of that Senate. It's a pity that a country like such as Nigeria, who's supposed to be the giant of Africa, has I don't know how to call them, like that old man called them rascals.
I understand your frustration, Mr. James.
Honestly, they are a bunch of rascals. I think they should get out of that place. I don't blame them because they have actually bought our youth. They've bought everybody over.
Let me pick up on that theme. Thank you very much for calling in, James. Let me pick up on that theme. Ikola was saying earlier that there was a time when different interest pressure groups would have complained, from labor to all sorts of but you don't hear anything else. You said earlier that the moral atmosphere has gotten very, very dark.
No, it's not getting, it's dark.
It's already very, very dark.
Very dark.
There's so much money around. You seem to be implying that everybody has been settled. Well, you know, everybody has been settled, and so people are not just moving anymore.
Because it is now a free-for-all. Governance has been
Is it really?
Down. Yes, the governance has been broken down to personality now.
Okay.
The governor of a state, sorry, Mr. Kwala, the governor of a state has absolute control of what happened in the state. In the federal, it's even a little bit,
okay, so because,
at the governor, at the state level, so I was a union leader. I never saw one naira from even the vice chancellor.
Ikola wants to put some voice there.
The truth of the matter is that the youths have been strangulated. The youths have been made jobless. You see, there's no growth. In those days, 16-year-old is a youth. 17-year-old, 21-year-old. Very recently, in the Nigerian Youth Council, they were fighting over each other for the office. And 43-year-old is a contestant.
A 43-year-old youth. Please, let me bring in Mr. Omar in Kaduna. Good morning, Mr. Omar.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you see, Uncle Yori, I'm not surprised at what the Senate is saying. The federal government, or rather the police, have touched one of the cabals. He's a member of the cabal. In that National Assembly, there are cabals. Yeah. Now, if you remember recently, one of the cabal members, which is Senator Wabushi, his house has been forfeited to federal government temporarily. So there is a serious fight between the federal government and the Senate. And if you look at most of the people that occupy a sensitive position in that Senate are members of the cabal, and they were deliberately put in that position so that they can fight. It was a deliberate calculation. It was a team that is seriously fighting against the corruption part of the federal government. So we will have it very difficult to succeed. They have robbed this government completely. You can imagine, since this Senate, ex-Senate come on board, they could not have a stable 2-3-1 month session. It's always one controversy or the other.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Omar, for calling in. We don't have any evidence of cabals within the Senate, but, you know.
Yori, the truth of the matter is that there are cabals everywhere. But what I'm saying is that the problem of Nigeria today, the youths are being strangulated. You have a home with five graduates. I mean, that one they have finished. We have homes, 5 graduates in a family. No job. So, you know, people, there's no growth. In those days, they would call us, come and contest, say, I'm making a career. I want to become MD, USC, Leventis, everywhere. Today, nothing. So, and when they are hungry, they cannot think again.
Well, if things have gotten this bad, you're not going to fix it in a day. And if people have so been bought, then it looks like this is not a short ride. This moral darkness we're in, and that is affecting negatively the administration.
Thank you for that question. I think, and that is why I'm calling on every patriotic Nigeria to, on a daily basis, uphold this precedent, because this is the hope we have today for a rebirth. Every day you wake up from your sleep, if you're a Muslim, a Christian, please pray for this president. For God
because of his ideals for the country.
For God to sustain him, give him the grace and give him the enablement to drive this his vision. At 74, 75, this man has nothing again to gain or lose from a bad Nigeria. But he's trying to bequeath a better Nigeria for us. This is the only time that we have begun to see probity. We are beginning to see the dark places where this country has been bleeding. This is the only time that we begin to see some shaking within the system. Like you said, it's not going to be a day. So anybody who is wanting a quick fix, who is wanting a microwave solution, you won't get it, Nigerians. You won't get it. What you will get is a systematic build-up. So it's a systematic build-up of the structure that will culminate to a beautiful Nigeria, to a beautiful structure that will be for the better of everybody. So that is why every Nigerians owe this president and this administration. You may not like APC, you may not like the Fulani man, you may not like the Hausa man, but the fact is you must like Nigeria. Okay. And Nigeria is at stake here. And therefore, everyone must pray for this president or support him, uphold him, and make sure that we support his drive and his agenda for a better Nigeria. Let's Ogoje go and answer his police case. There is murder attached, there is robbery attached, there is money laundering attached. Let's Ogoje not drag Nigerian budget, not drag Nigerians to this. Let him go and handle his case with the police and leave Nigerians alone.
Excellent.
And for Nigerians, very briefly, please. And for Nigerians not to leave Buhari alone in the fight. Corruption is not Buhari versus...
But Buhari is at the head of a team.
I'm telling you that corruption is not Buhari versus them. It's Nigerians versus them. Corruption. We must all stand up and fight.
And so what's going on in the National Assembly, you think it's part of a spillover of the
all these senators,
corruption we're talking about, fighting back?
Yes, all the senators, they live with us.
Okay.
When you stone your senator, when he returns from Abuja, and you know he's a thief, you stone him, he won't come back home.
But we can't incite people against the senators.
It's coming.
It's coming to that. You're even talking of stoning.
Okay.
It has started.
It has started.
It has started. They've been stoning them in the north. It's just here in the south here we are still being docile.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Alester Wilcox, Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Analyst, and Honorable Ikwola Omishore, former member of the Lagos State House of Assembly and Public Affairs Analyst, apart from being an educationist. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Anytime is my pleasure.
I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.